going, Lord? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. How can a man then understand his own way? Let me see something real quick. I got a bookmark. O Lord Yahweh, this is Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 23. O Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. And then what's that? Proverbs chapter 20, verse 20, chapter, I think it's Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand. Proverbs 21 and verse 1, and it reads, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone, who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, and the land of other nations appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's Brother Yahweh, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And pretty much this lesson was inspired through the spirit. I'm going to probably name this through Ha RAWCHAA. And basically, I was just listening to the brother's videos. I sometimes be speaking and don't pay attention to the words I use, so salakia for that. What I'll say is, I often say I'll be watching brothers' videos, and that's not true. I'm more so listening because I'm at my job, and that's when I do the greatest listening to brothers' videos. I'll be honest, that's probably because, when you listen to a brother and he breaking down scriptures, you're supposed to go into the words and study. That's how you get a better understanding. I was listening to the beloved elder Apostle Gabar speak on that today. He was talking about, he did a video, I know it wasn't today, but he did a video entitled, if you do these things, it's roughly paraphrased, but if you do these things, you may be one of the elect. And he was talking about going into studying. I noticed that that's been the spirit lately. A lot of things being mentioned, and it was a lot of edification coming out. I was watching the elder Malcolm in Chicago. I salute that brother. And he was going into how there was a lot of edification coming out, man of the great millstone. And, he's absolutely correct, and pretty bond God all the way, that good brother, that's a spirit. Anyhow, long story short, boom, edification ever since, I've been watching videos, listening to videos. And, yeah, that's the video that the beloved elder Apostle Gabar did. Signs you might be a member of the elect. All of them pretty much, the elder Hawad and GMS North Carolina, and then it was this one. These last two was really good. This one, this GMS Down Under Australia, caught my attention because, when I first left the camp, the head of the camp reached out and he said, I gotta pretty much remove my the GMS from my channel, and I knew it was so good because he didn't reach out by phone. He went on the video. So I caught myself doing what, which is my fault, Salakia, that it was still GMS on the URL. So the head of the camp that I was in, because he was the head, he's a bishop, I was a deacon, pretty much, he reached out like the other day and was saying how, I still got GMS. Well, he hit me with brother, at least brother. Some brothers, some brothers hit me with like I'm a persona non grata. Anyhow, anyhow, gotta find the humor in the suffering. Um, so I never, like I said, I'm thinking you got to go onto the account because I got like 3 or 4 pages because at that one point in time they was clipping all the videos through the spirit, speaking as a man, but through the spirit I feel that they not clipping them now because they're gonna use our videos as the tools for persecution. So anyhow, I didn't know which channel. Like I make up. I know some of these channels got my real information on it, and then a lot of them, once I figured out through the spirit that they was going, I started making up shit. So long story short, I'm thinking I would have to go and find my Google password and all that because, with certain things, like you got to understand, these accounts are all like tied in. It's all that digital ID shit. They all link back to like Amazon. Like I've ordered shit off of certain apps, and it'll bring up, my YouTube channel, or like this temp agency. The lady wants me to rate the temp agency for her company, and I never did it because it shows my YouTube page. So it's really no escaping nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why the brother want me to remove it because it's not, it's actually like protocol probably from the elders because at the end of the day, I'm not officially GMS. I'm no longer with GMS. I'm, maybe GMS in the spirit, but, and, I used to wonder like, well, why is Jake still watching my videos if I'm so bugged out or if I went off? But one sure sign that you literally, the spirit's leaving you is if you don't know the name and if you're changing the doctrine. So at first I was getting offended, but then I'm like, no, that's actually love. You know what I'm saying? I tend to not watch my videos and, just through the spirit. Like I haven't been really following brothers' channels. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have been drinking one day and jumped on the brother's channel and said shalom or, left a comment or whatnot. But for the most part, I don't follow brothers. If the feed pops up or the video pops up in my feed, I may watch it. Like recently that just happened twice. Based on what the brothers was doing, I did a video off of it. So that was all through the spirit. But saying all to say this, I didn't know about this, and I understand, why. Because they, you got a GMS Somali and a GMS terrorist, and pretty much, I don't know if they purposely doing it. I don't know if they bugged out, but you got to understand that the ministry got to be blameless, and it made me think of this scripture in the book of Proverbs chapter Ephesians chapter 5. And I'm gonna start at Ephesians 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit. No, I'm gonna read it. This is Ephesians 5 and 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach or Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Verse 26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. It says that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. When you go to that word holy, we know it's Kodash, meaning to be separate. That's why the elders of the Great Millstone are not compromising. That's why they're not trying to do these unity camps and all the, you got individuals teaching for filthy lucre's sake. You know what I mean? I was just listening to the beloved elder Apostle Gabar say that. He said you got churches making merchandise of the word. Trying to sell breakdowns or they trying to sell garments and all kind of they selling everything. Like you said, everything that's not nailed down, which is futile. And it shows where your heart is at. Scriptures talk about where store up your treasures in heaven. It's, and then it goes into pretty much your I being single. So, where you put your heart and your mind is what you're going to be focused on. I know I'm butchering Salakia. You know, there's a lot going on, and you know that's one of the reasons why I walked away from the camp, because I know, like I said, it wasn't just one incident. It was like a couple individuals there, and like Jake said, I forgot who made mention of it, but they was like, sometimes Jake don't even know that they offended somebody, so till you present it to him. But at the same time, while I'm so bipolar, but you could say that about certain other individuals as well. So it's like, I mean, I made mention of this. I've noticed that a lot of brothers have had tempers, and a lot of brothers probably got their temper in check. I wasn't, probably, um, again, I did something that was kind of out of pocket and off, and it wasn't addressed. But I apologized to the brother. But by me recognizing my fault, I pretty much realized once the Lord presented me or uplifted me into my position, I was like, I couldn't pretty much approach Jake like that. You know what I mean? So a lot of shit that I didn't like, I let other brothers deal with it, which was off. That made me feel off too. You know what I mean? Because again, like I say, you say something to Jake and Jake do the shit again, like a little kid. Well, a child. But then I'm a grown ass man. So I know, I don't know the elder's name in Boston, but he made a statement about it's going to be a separation. And, yeah, it is. I don't know what the reason why the Lord separated me. I know I still believe. I know I didn't slander the elders because the elders didn't do anything. I realized off the drip it was the Lord. And I don't know what the separation is for, but I do know this. The Lord prepares you for what he's going to do to you. You know what I mean? That's why we're going through these trials and tribulations, our current suffering now. Matter of fact, let me get that, because what's that in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 1, and it reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." For temptations, and I don't know what that word is. I don't even know. I mean, I had it looked up. It was supposed to be like a concordance for the the apocrypher, and I put a brother onto it, but then I never bought it. But I want to, you don't want to assume anything, but I'm guessing, that's going into them trials, which we all shall face. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. And that's what we're going through, our different afflictions. I heard a brother make mention of, when you temper in metals, the metal constantly is being, drenched in that fire. Constantly when you forge in it, it's constantly being forged in that fire to rid of the impurities. And that's the Lord pretty much preparing you for what's to come. And we all gonna be tried in different ways. Look at my trial. Brother probably ain't gonna be able to, and like I said, I'm not trying to boast or brag or anything. Like, to be honest, I haven't even spoken on a lot of things that I've had to endure. You know what I mean? But in my spirit, I feel like the Lord's preparing me for something that, what's so crazy about this? Prior to me leaving the camp, the brothers had a group chat, and I just jumped in the spirit. I always like the history of the scriptures. So I asked the question. I said, pretty much the contemporaries, what all the prophets was alive at the same time, because these men were believers and working for Yahweh Shem Yahshua. They were all prophets, and pretty much they were all alive at the same time. So they probably didn't even know of each other. And then, I put that in the group chat, and Lord and behold, this took place. So, it was like a foreshadowing of what was about to come. That's what I like to believe anyway. Again, I recognize the spirit's still been dealing. And although I'm not in the comfort of the brotherhood that's in my city, I still get comforted by the elders and brothers still saying shalom and, ak and all that. And what's the craziest part about it is I've left comments and the brothers in my city don't even say that. And I'm not telling them that. I'm just speaking honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, we telling on Esau right now. This is going to be terrifying because, like I said again, you need the elder, the beloved elder Apostle Tahar made a statement. He said, I don't care how many videos you do. If you don't understand, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Just like that elder brother from Boston, he said, not just about preaching. But, it's actually like the Lord is, we're reading these things and about to be walking them. That's why I always hit a brother, it's not about the precepts, but are you living the scriptures? Because by living the scriptures, when you confronted with a situation, that's how you're going to overcome it. Verse 3, cleave on to him and depart not away. Make not haste, be the speed in the time of trouble. You got to take these things patiently. Verse 3, cleave on to him. And it makes me think about the video the elder Uriah did about the tenacity, having the tenacity be in his truth, meaning holding on a grip, holding on to the truth. Because at the end of the day, like the elder Kazak in Mississippi did a video, I forgot what it was titled, but he said pretty much at the end of the day, all you have is your faith. It was certain things I went through before I came in this truth. Now, I'm not saying, I'm still subject to fall. You know what I mean? Ultimately, these different trials and tribulations is the testing of your faith. Is you being sifted, shaken, see if you're going to hold to the faith, if you're going to keep the tenacity, or you're going to have the tenacity to hold on. The video that the elder brother in Boston did, he was talking about the sufferings of Ha RAWCHAA, and the servant is not greater than his master. So if our Lord went through it, you are going to go through it as well. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Because going through these sufferings actually builds faith and character. It was something that the elder brother Jeremiah from Chicago, the elder brother Big Murph, said maybe years ago, because the brother Ha RAWCHAA, the elder brother, pretty much was always watching Big Murph, the elder Big Murph, and he got me onto, because his videos was quick and to the point, and they consider Murph a austere man, which he is. No nonsense, straight to the point. But I couldn't be like that. We all rough man though. Like, I remember brother told me, he said, "Damn, you got a thick skin to deal with you." I'm like, "What you mean?" Because Jake see me laughing. I don't know. I told brothers I'm acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't deal with me. But at the end of the day, he said, the Lord has put him through many trials that he have overcome. And that's how I'm looking at this. It's things I won't even mention that I've had to actually endure. So, yeah, this hurt like a motherfucker to be away from brothers. But at the same time, I know the Lord is doing this for whatever purpose. And if you can keep that in your mind, the elder brother Boston was saying how when he first came in, the path he was given was he was told that you're going to suffer. I wasn't told that, but I was forewarned spiritually. Because I had a vision and I didn't understand what it meant at the time, but it make all the sense now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Now, it's easier to take cheerfully. It's easy to say to take it cheerfully, but the elders always talk about you got to learn to, how you got to learn to smile, or how do the elders phrase it? Got to have fun in this thing. You know what I mean? And that's why brothers transform they pain into, a joke, like the elder Mwatazak was talking about with the chariots. You got people bugging out, and he said they laughing at them. I haven't even really been in the spirit to do a video on it until recently. And I'm probably going to do that at my camp. Hopefully I can camp today, because it ain't been raining and I ain't had the funds to buy another umbrella. So, but Lord willing, I could camp today, because I wasn't going to even go into the chariots, but now the spirit's leaning that way. So I'm like, yeah, I might go into it, because, it's all kind of chariot sightings. And the elder was saying, it's not just in the East Coast and in Jersey, but he said that it's happening on the West Coast. Because in the midst of Esau trying to use them drones to cover up the chariots, the chariots is out there. Just like Esau might try to do some kind of Project Bluebeam shit, but at the same time, it's going to be really, the chariots out there. And I was like, damn, that's cold how the Lord doing that. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Verse 6, believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. And that's the whole thing. Scriptures talk about trusting in the Lord with all thy heart and lean out upon thy own understanding. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on, but I did know this. The Lord been told me if I go back in the world, he going to fuck me all the way up. And I didn't even have children at that time. My goofy ass had children who went up. Yeah, right. I wasn't even thinking I was going to be here. Right. So it wasn't like I planned none of this. I never wanted kids for real. But I told the brother this, and now I'm telling brothers this. At the end of the day, I know if I didn't have them kids, I probably wouldn't have made it this far. And now it's funny because it's like, damn, it was like the Lord used them to get me over a hump. And now I'm looking at it like, damn, I'm really starting. I don't hate my kids, but I hate my life. You know what I'm saying? I told my kids to do something for their safety, and they came up with their own little fucking breakdown. And I'm like, well, goddamn, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, yeah. So, at the end of the day, I can't focus on that. It's going to be what the Lord's going to have it be. I got this book of Romans. I only got a couple minutes. 12 and verse 1, and it reads, I beseech, Romans 12 and 1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. That's our service. So if you have the understanding of this, and you are the man of the Lord, you are commanded to come out on these highways and hedges to preach the gospel, to preach this message. If you're an Israelite man, it's the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 18, and it reads, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Because at the end of the day, this suffering, this job that we've been given, this job that we've been tasked with, it comes with a reward, And Revelation chapter 2, I brought it out earlier, talks about for those that overcome, as well as Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. For those that overcome shall be made a pillar in the temple of the Most High's power. I'm butchering it, and I don't have time to get it. A pillar is something that stands forever. Pretty much addressed everything I was trying to say. It's one last thing that the elder brother made mention of, the brother from Boston, because like I said again, that video's titled like suffering is a part of this truth. And he was saying how, pretty much how, Paul considered himself a slave of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and the servant is not greater than his master. He was saying how he would rather be a slave or a prisoner of Yahweh Shah's than to be in this world or a prisoner of this world. And I thought through the spirit, like I would word it even differently, because I thought I'd rather be a prisoner of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, or joined on to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and go through my sufferings that's allotted to me, than be a king or be a star in Babylon. The scriptures talk about the stars of heaven falling, which we know is a two-fold scripture. We're talking about those ICBMs, as well as talking about the actual stars of this kingdom, the entertainers, the lower level, or the lower level echelon of the elite, the superstars, the entertainers of this world. They're throwing them under the bus right now. I can't remember who did the video, but it was talking about how pretty much it was a comedian that made a joke, and pretty much about how, like, something with Jay-Z, and how he was just naming names, and pretty much how once they use these different entertainers up, they kick them to the curb. Pretty much trash their name. I did a video about Jim Carrey, and now another article came out that said pretty much he blew through $300 million. So, you know what I mean? That man done, you know what I'm saying? Just, that's just about, what's that dude's name? I can't think of this fucking name. Something Ocean. I can't think of his name, but how he pretty much got to perform in Las Vegas because he owed the casino's debt, and he do drugs. So he was, they pretty much, he a slave, and that's what they want for everybody, that's how covetous the devil is. He want everybody, just locked up under his rule, a true prisoner. But if I'm going to be a prisoner, I'd rather be a prisoner joined onto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Yeah. Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and the elder quoted that, he was talking about David chose to fall into the hands of the Lord because the Lord ultimately would have mercy. We going through the period of mercy right now with this grace, giving you opportunity to come back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. But we know 2/3 are going to refuse to. So that was just on my spirit, you know what I mean? Showing you, like the Lord is beautiful. Because like I said, I kind of understood why, but I was thinking like, well, damn, all this stuff going on. But again, the ministry got to be blameless, you know what I mean? But we know persecution going to come regardless. But we don't just help that along. You know what I mean? Like the fuck? You going to just take a case for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying do a Charles the White, you know what I mean? Because Charles the White a demon. Fuck that nigga. But at the same time, come on. When it go down, we really gonna be holding those white stones. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Chakadas Wakatham. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah. Nawat Ball.